welcome back to the channel. So it is Tuesday night and we are live. In fact, we are live every single Tuesday here on the channel. And if this is your very first time joining us, a big hello, welcome. And hopefully this would not be the first and last time that we would see each other. We are live every single Tuesday night and we do upload several times a week here on the channel. If you are here for the first time, or if you're returning for the second, third, 10th, 100th, whatever it is, welcome back. And I would love to invite you to join our growing community here on YouTube. And the way you do that is super simple. Not only does it help you by getting alerted to tips and strategies and recipes that we upload, but it also helps the channel grow and reach more people, which is really why we're here, is to reach more people, get this message out, to spread hope and inspiration for those that struggle with their weight, with their health, and all of that. So you can do that simply by going down, pressing the subscribe button, ringing the notification bell, and smashing the like button on the video. If you do all three, it literally takes a couple seconds to do. And yeah, you join the community, helps out the channel. You get some great tips in return for free. And anyway, so tonight we're going to be talking about your just going for it, just doing the dang thing, going for it. Starting your weight loss journey, restarting your weight loss journey, getting back on the horse, getting back up after you've been knocked down for the first time, the 10th time, or the 100th time. And so many times when I'm talking to somebody about weight loss, so many times when I'm talking to somebody about, losing weight, getting healthy, overcoming obstacles, overcoming fears, overcoming barriers that they have in their life, because make no mistake about it, anybody who is living their best life, health-wise, nutrition-wise, fitness-wise, it's not like they have a perfect circumstance to be able to do that. We all live on this planet called Earth, and we are all busy adulting. And with adulting comes hard things. It comes not having enough time. It comes other obligations. It comes kids. If you are single and watching this, oh my goodness, you have so much time. I wouldn't have told you that. I thought I was a busy single person. But when you start adding kids into the mix, oh my goodness, we have 3 littles. 2 that are in school, they homeschool, and 1 that is not quite a year and a half old. Anywho, it adds stuff to your plate. If you have businesses, if you work outside of the home, if you're an employee, if you have a home to take care of, all of those things add stuff to your plate. So a lot of times when I'm working with clients or when I'm talking with people about weight loss, they oftentimes are looking to get started on their weight loss journey at some point down the road. We unfortunately live in a culture, or we live in a society that has trained us or conditioned us to look to next week, next month, or next year. Very few people are living in the today. Very few people are living in the moment. Most of us, and I can only speak to this from a place of experience because this is something I used to do. And I can remember when I first heard the quote, I was actually in high school when I heard this, and it's don't put off till tomorrow what you can do today. I was a junior in high school when I heard that. And at the moment, I'm a junior in high school and I was pretty ambitious and I was kind of a go-getter. And I can remember thinking, well, duh, who would put off till tomorrow what we can do today? But we do it all the time. And even in that moment, as a naive high school student, I was doing it. I was doing it in my own life. All the things I didn't want to do or like to do, I was pushing off, like cleaning my room, cleaning the bathroom, whatever it was that I didn't want to do, doing my homework, studying for the test. See, I was really good at doing the things I wanted to do. Going out with my girlfriends, hanging out with my boyfriend, convincing my parents to let me go do whatever. So I thought that because I was good at doing the things that I wanted to do, that somehow I wasn't putting anything off. But if you looked at my habits, I always did the things I wanted to do. And I found a way to put off the things I didn't want to do. I found a way to kick the can down the road on the things I didn't want to do. So let's talk about you and let's talk about weight loss for a second, okay? So let's just get this one out of the way. We are never going to get to a point in time where the sun, the moon, and the stars all align, and it is the perfect time, the perfect place, the perfect everything to get started, okay? Let's just get that out of the way. And you probably know this, but sometimes we need to be reminded, because by kicking the can down the road and by saying tomorrow, next week, next month, when work gets easier, when we get through soccer season, when we get through baseball season, when we get through the holidays, when spring starts, when my workload decreases, when the kids are out of school, when the kids are back in school, when. Listen, if you struggle with your weight, if you struggle with your health, and you have the word when, if, or next in your vocabulary, you are kicking the can down the road. And kicking the can down the road is a habit. It's the root of it is procrastination. And there's a lot of different reasons why we procrastinate. We're not going to go down that path tonight. We're not even going to talk about that tonight. But here's what I will tell you. There's only one perfect time for you to start your weight loss journey. And that is now. It is right freaking now. So if you rewind 7 years ago, at 160 pounds to this frame, I was busting out of a size 22. Realistically, I probably should have been a 24, but I was busting out of a size 22, 288 pounds. I was a mom of two. We had a toddler and a newborn, and I had struggled with my weight most of my life. And I had lived in the space of next week, next month, next year. I always had a next I always had a reason why right now wasn't the time. And behind that, I had a whole bunch of fear that I was going to repeat the past. I had a whole bunch of fear that if I did get started, it wasn't going to work anyway. That if I did get started and lose the weight, my experience was that I would go gain it all back. I had a whole bunch of fear that I was just destined to live in this morbidly obese, big boned body, is the truth of the matter. And if I was dreaming or wishing or hoping or praying, then yeah, I could pray to have success, or I could wish to have success, or I would see another before and after of somebody else who had succeeded and been like, dang it, why can't that just be me? But I had really started to accept the fact that maybe it just wouldn't be me. Maybe I was destined to be trapped and stuck inside of this morbidly obese body. And what I will tell you, wishing, hoping, praying, although, hope's great. Wishing don't do a dang thing for you. Praying, that's awesome. I think it's important to pray. But none of those actions actually get you to your goal. None of those actions actually move you closer to where you want to be. None of those things move you away from where you are and closer to your goal. What does is action. What does move you closer to your goal is doing something about it. Doing something about it. Right now, most of you watching this are sitting on the sidelines, hoping, wishing, praying. Okay? And this doesn't come from a place of judgment. This doesn't come from a place of neener. This comes from a place of, I did this for a decade. I know exactly where you're at. So let me show you where I was and how I crossed over to success. So if you're sitting there and you're like, well, yeah, Carmen, I am on the sidelines. What's it to ya? Well, I want to show you a different way. I want to show you that what could be possible if you do what we're going to talk about tonight. And so right now, if you're watching this and you are sitting on the sidelines with any area of your health, if you're sitting on the sidelines and you're like, you know what? Next month, next week, next year, next whatever, when I get more money and I'm able to get supplies, when I get the time, there's typically time or money is what we're waiting for. When I get the money or when I get the time. The money and the time are never going to magically show up in our life or in our bank account. It's not about finding the time. It's not about finding the money. It's going out there and making it happen. Making the money. Making the time. It's not about waiting for it to appear. It's about finding it. going out there and carving it out, stealing time from other places, like scrolling Facebook, watching another makeup tutorial on YouTube, zoning out to your favorite TV show, whatever it is. There's time in a lot of different pockets in our lives that we could steal the time from. Same thing with money. Same thing with money. When I'm working with a client and they have the money objection, it's the money that's holding them back. Well, it's looking around at their habits in their life and saying, okay, well, where could we rob back that money? Where could we steal back the money and redirect it, reinvest it into your health? And instead of spending it on the drive-thru at your Starbucks coffee, instead of spending it on lunch, instead of spending it on another black dress or another pair of shoes or another Amazon order or another, let's steal that back from some of those places that are stealing it from you, and let's redirect it in your health. And so I want to encourage you that if right now your objection of not getting started on your weight loss journey is time or money, don't wait for the money to show up. Don't wait for the time to show up. Go to where your time is going and steal some back. Go to where your money is going and steal some back. I've had clients that literally have called their in-laws or called their friends and said, hey, I need $160 for my supplies to get started inside of this boot camp. And would you be willing to make an investment in me? And I'll pay you back within the next 60 days, or I'll pay you back within the next 90 days, or whatever it is. I've had people do that. We're serious. Where there's a will, there's a way is my point. Where there's a will, there's a way. If you're serious about your health. And so don't let your current circumstances stop you from where you want to go. So let's talk about this for a second. We talked about at the very beginning, the key to your success in weight loss is not waiting for the perfect time, the perfect moment. It's just getting started right now, right where you're at, and doing the dang thing. Do the dang thing. So what does that look like, doing the dang thing? Okay. What it means is you don't have to have the perfect weight loss plan. You don't have to have the perfect coach. You don't have to have the perfect time. You don't have to have the perfect circumstances. You don't have to have the perfect anything. All you need is you and now and something that works. Period. End of story. Whether that you can go find whatever weight loss program you want to use. I'm obviously biased to the one that worked for me, the one that's working for our cast of The Biggest Transformation, the one that's worked for the hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of clients that I've worked with from all over the world. Yes, I'm biased. But if I'm being honest, there's a million different ways to lose weight on the planet. They all boil back to the same one, being in a calorie deficit. There's lots of little things and little whatevers that people can do. Some involve fitness, some don't. I do believe you should involve fitness in your life. It just keeps you young, keeps you healthy. All that stuff gives you a better product when you're done losing weight. We have lots of videos on why I believe fitness is vital to your success in life and being strong and healthy and living a long life and all those things. However, some weight loss programs involve fitness, some don't. Some involve, taking a magic pill, some don't. Some involve eating this and eating that. But at the end of the day, it's being in a calorie deficit. You're not going to lose weight if you're not in a calorie deficit. So it's finding a way to lose weight and going and doing it. Sticking to it, taking failure off the table, saying, you know what? We're a little chunk through the year. We're not even close to being halfway through the year. We're just at about a third of the way through the year. A third of the way through the year. That means we're a quarter of the way through the year. That means we have 3/4 of the year left. Even if you dinked around and you didn't do anything that you planned to do in the first quarter of the year with your health, even if you let the first quarter of the year get the best of you and you gain 5 pounds, you said you were going to lose 5 and you gained 5, or you said you were going to lose 10 and you gained 10, that's okay. Because that first quarter of the year is your past. It's not your future. And if you're one that actually lost 5 pounds in the first quarter, freaking congratulations, keep going. So when I say just do the dang thing, typically what stops us from doing the dang thing is fear of repeating the past. Fear of repeating the things that have stopped us. Fear of what if it doesn't work? What if I get excited, Carmen, and I get all excited and I'm like, yes, this is my year. I'm going to get skinny. I'm going to get fit. I'm going to get healthy. I'm going to get back into those jeans. I'm going to get out of the plus size section. I'm going to go shopping for my dream wardrobe. Like, what if I actually get excited about this and it doesn't work? What if I fail again? It's a valid question. It's a valid question, especially for those of us that have had a lot of failures in our past. But you know, the only way you're not going to succeed is if you quit. The only way is if you let a failure stop you. Because failures are part of successes. You're never going to reach success if you're here and success is here. There's a road between you and success. Along that road, there are failures. Because why? Failures are lessons learned. Failures are your opportunity to learn what it's going to take to not only achieve success, but to keep it. Did you hear me? The failures are the lessons that you need to learn, that so when you get the success, you can keep it. Because if you don't learn from your failures along the way, if you don't learn those lessons, then when you do get to the success with your weight loss, you're going to go gain it all back anyway. And it don't do you or me or anybody else any good if you go lose the weight only to go gain it back. Most of us want to lose the weight and have it stay lost. Like, stay lost, sucker. Don't come find me. Don't write me a love letter telling me you miss me. X-May to the weight coming back. Like, no. And if you're anything like me, whenever my weight came and found me again, it always brought a couple buddies with it. It's like, hey, I'm home. I brought some friends that I met on the road when I was lost, and they're going to come hang out too. So if I lost 20 pounds, 24 would come find me. It was awesome. And so those lessons, those failures along the road, does it mean you're a failure? It doesn't mean you're less than. It doesn't mean you suck. It doesn't mean that because it's hard, it must not be meant to be. Give me a freaking break. People running around here thinking if they meet any opposition, if you meet any obstacle, then it's just not meant to be healthy. No. Anything worth having is going to be hard. It's pressing through the hard that is teaching you the lessons to keep it. It's like people who get success really fast. They never have any obstacles. They never have any failures. Typically those that go make a lot of money like this, people that end up winning the lottery end up going broke. Why? Because they never learned the lessons with money to keep the money. Most people in business declare bankruptcy once, 2, 3 times before they ever end up being really successful. Why? Because those bankruptcies, they were painful and they were lessons and they were failures. And those failures equipped them to actually have business success, to build a business and keep it and not have to declare bankruptcy. Again, this is why most people that win the lottery end up broke within just a few years. Why? Because it was really fast success. They had no failures to teach them about money. They had no failures to equip them to keep that amount of money. So they got the money, they weren't prepared, and wham, they went right back down. And so when you start looking at failures as, no, this is equipping me, this is helping me so that when I get to where I'm going with my health, when I get to 130 pounds, when I get to 150 pounds, when I get to 180 pounds, those failures, those lessons, those things I learned along the way are going to keep me there once I get there. And so for most of us, if you're not going for your health, if you're not going to live your best life, if you're not doing the dang thing, it's a good shot. It's because you're afraid it won't work. There's a good shot you're afraid that typically the reason why we don't find the time is we're afraid it won't work. Typically, the reason we don't find the money is because we're afraid it wouldn't work. If you knew without a shadow of a doubt, if you got started today and you said, yes, I'm all in, let's go, dream body, here I come, Operation Bikini, let's go. You entered that in and you knew you could get it. You knew you were going to have it. There would be no amount of time you wouldn't invest, and there'd be no amount of money you couldn't find if you knew you couldn't fail, if you knew success was guaranteed. But because there's a chance that we're going to have some failures. And again, each failure means you're one step closer to success. Each failure means you're that much more prepared to have success. You're that much closer to success. It doesn't mean you're a failure. And so if you're watching this video tonight or today or whatever time zone you're in, and you know there's more to life than what you're living, you know that there's room for you to improve your health. You know that it's not healthy for you to be carrying those extra 50 or extra 100 pounds around on your backside. You know when you look in the mirror and you don't love that reflection staring back at you, you know you're not living your best life when you're downing that pint of Ben & Jerry's ice cream. You know you're not doing what you should be doing when you go through the McDonald's drive-thru weekly. I'm like describing my 20s and half of my 30s. I want to encourage you to stop waiting for the right time, for the right moment, for the right people, for the right coach, for the right this, for the right diet system, for the right plan, for the right trainer. And I want to encourage you to get started now. Don't think, don't evaluate, to contemplate, to do all those things. I want to encourage you to just get started with something, to just get started with something, to just do the dang thing already. Listen, if you think for a second and you think about how long you've been wanting to get healthy, if you think about how long this thing has been in here, calling out, saying, come on, how many diets have you tried? How many plans have you bought? How many workout DVDs have you invested in, or streaming services or VHSs, depending on how old you are? How many shakes, potions, weight loss pills have you done? I know for me, when I got to the place where I was in my mid-30s and I couldn't even count how many things I had tried, how many books, how many programs, DVDs, VHSs, shakes. Just get started. And the only way you're not going to succeed is if you quit. But if you take quitting off the table and you say, you know what? I don't need success guaranteed. I'm just going to go for it. Balls to the wall. Let's go. Get out of my way. That's my past. This is my future. Let's go. The only way you're not going to fail. The only way you're not going to succeed is if you take failure, if you quit. The only way you're not going to succeed is if you quit. But if you take failure off the table, if you take quitting off the table, knowing you're going to get some failures, knowing that's part of the process, and failing doesn't mean you're a failure. Take quitting off the table. Success is it's the only outcome possible. And so just go for it. Stop fearing the past. Stop fearing the unknown. Because, yeah, there's the question of, what if I fail? But then there's also the question of, but what if you fly? What if you succeed? What if this time is the time? What if this time is different than all the rest? What if this time is your chance to prove everybody who didn't believe in you wrong? What if this is your chance to make it? This is your before and after on the other end of you getting back up and going forward again. So I'm going to end with, just go do the dang thing. Just go do the dang thing. So thank you so much for watching. I will link the things I talked about at the beginning down in the description box. If you have not heard, we do have our season 2, the biggest transformation applications. Enrollment is open. So if you haven't seen any of our biggest transformation shows, it's our season 1. We have a cast of 7, and it's following them on their weight loss journey. And so their season is coming to an end, and we are currently accepting applications for season 2. So in the description box, I will link the application. I will also link the playlist for season 1, as well as the video where I talk about what season 2 is going to be, what it looks like, how you can maybe get a part in that, and then our link to our regular boot camp as well. We do run monthly boot camp. So if you're like, yes, okay, fine, I'm going to do the dang thing. Like, let's go. What am I doing? If you don't have somebody who believes in you, if you don't know where to get started, but you want to, and you want to join with someone who will believe in you even when you don't believe in yourself, someone who won't quit on you even in the moments where you want to quit, we have a spot waiting for you. So I will put the link in the description box. Fill it out, fill the application out. We'll get you some more information on what the coaching program looks like, and we'll go from there. So thank you so much for watching. We'll see you on the next one.